We knew we had water pressure on the walls of our basement in certain areas. In particular, we had some buried downspouts where we were worried about the water being close to the foundation. Plus, we thought if we could do something good for the environment in the meantime, that would be fantastic, helping our drainage issues and helping the area around us. I learned about directing water to the proper places that we need to keep our bigger bodies of water as clean as we can, and so if we can have the water dissipating in the areas where it's flowing, that would be great. And so that's what we're trying to do, is help out in the little way we can. It was fantastic. We loved Catherine and Dave, and then we had other volunteer water stewards coming in during the course of our project, checking on it, seeing how it was going, picking up shovels, helping us. It was just a fantastic experience. We were so impressed with the volunteer effort that people were willing to put in to help us, to help the environment. It was just a great thing. Yes, well, now whenever someone comes to our backyard, we love to show them our rain garden. And we talk about why it's there and what it is and how it really is not a complicated thing to do, but what a difference it can make. And we have so many friends that are dealing with water issues in their backyards, around their homes, and are really interested in finding out about ways they can try to solve it in a way that's good for the environment. We see the water that used to be close to our foundation with the downspouts that were closer coming now straight into the rain garden, and it's amazing how much water would have been directed closer to our house that now goes into this rain garden and goes into the ground so well.
Well, I moved in to the neighborhood in 2009, and eventually with my voice I managed to attract Anne's attention over the fence. So we started playing Tool Time, okay? Or with, you know who I'm talking about. So anyway, over the fence we would banter back and forth, and then I signed up for this rain garden project, Master Water Stewards, because I saw an ad in the Southwest Journal, and I said, ooh, I want to do that. I had seen the program that you had done years ago on Channel 2, and there was no follow-up on that, and so when this program became available, I said, I want to do that, especially since there are matching funds made available to me. So I signed up, took the class, and then we needed to do a project. We needed to find a capstone project, and my yard was just there was so much water coming into my backyard or from the two houses that we opted to go with Anne's house because it was a smaller project, more manageable, so that's what we did. My capstone project would have, if it done to complete fruition, would have required 3 10-by-30 rain gardens. So, and there was argument about slope in my yard, so we decided we'd go with something that was far easier, known as Anne's problem with her hidden buried downspout. Well, she didn't need much convincing because she knew she had a water issue with her basement walls. Also, there was the issue of matching funds again, and all of these wonderful volunteers who'd be showing up. So she acquiesced, and we took on her project as our capstone project. What we did first was figure out how much water was coming off of her roofs into these downspouts, which disappeared into the ground. After we figured out the square footage on the roof, and also when we did a perk test to see how quickly the water was absorbed into the ground in her backyard, then we calculated what the size of her rain garden should be. Yes, we've all come rushing out here in those 4-inch rainstorms with umbrellas to see how it's working, and she's been very impressed and has sent me text messages about how I should run over because it's really working. Well, I have the great gift of gab, and I also like to wander around neighborhoods with my dog to look at various backyard and houses. So now I come equipped with a card that says I'm a master water steward, and talking to people about how they too, if they've got issues with water in their yard or drainage in the behind Anne, or Anne and I are both part of what is known as the White Oaks neighborhood, and they have several contained we'll call them wetland areas that are getting more and more water dumped into them. And so the neighborhood is looking for various ways of controlling the runoff, especially now that in the next year or so they're going to be having their streets replaced. So it's a perfect time to also incorporate various rain gardens in people's yards next to the boulevard and also around the wetlands.
And you're working with the city on this?
Working with the city and with the White Oaks neighborhood, also with the Morningside neighborhood. They also have the issues. Their issues are more with the tear down, with large homes going in uphill and what is happening to the people downriver from them. They have been very cooperative as far as providing maps and as far as where the stormwater goes, where the drain systems are. And so I think especially now, people are becoming more cognizant of the problems that are being created with these rain events. They're now calling them events. It's a nice euphemism for tragic downpours. So the city is becoming more and more involved, especially when the community on their own, the individual homeowners, are running into issues and want to have those resolved.
Great. For you?
It's been absolutely a joy. I've retired and I wanted to look for something that I could do now that I'm not being paid to do something. It's what can I do to serve the community and also give myself a good feeling about accomplishing something little by little that is having an incredible effect on the neighborhoods and even on the state of Minnesota, with retaining the water on site rather than giving it all to New Orleans.